since I last spoke to you, it's been a really busy 12 months. I mean, the program's grown exponentially from when we last talked. I mean, we're up to 160 plus players now training on a regular basis, whether they drop in for an hour session or whether they're with us for 20 plus hours a week. So really been a lot of focus on organising and administrating that. We've brought a new coach into the team, a young lad called James Preston, with a lot of playing background, a lot of playing experience in the US university system. Just come back. First coaching job was with John McEnroe's academy in New York. Great opportunity for him. He spent 3 years there, really learned the trade, learned from some of the top guys, including McEnroe, who it's great to say that James has got his number in his mobile phone still, so that's always a nice anecdote when you're out for an evening. But really good experience, and he's come back and he's really passed that on to the kids, and he's integrated into the team as if he's been with us for years. So really good addition, which has enabled us to take on more of these players and also expand the program in a way that still keeps the quality. We like to think of ourselves as a medium-sized program that really delivers a high-performance tennis program for them, which is exactly what LevertonWilliams has always been about.
So you've got 160 players now and a new coach. What are you going to do with them in 2013?
Wow. Well, I think it'd be easier to say what we're not going to do with them in 2013. But we've worked really hard on our strength and conditioning program. So we've brought in some professionals. We've got a new physio that's going to be working with us, a guy called Tim Powell. He's Tom Daly's physio, the diver. He's based in Plymouth, which is one of our venues. So he's going to be working a lot more closely with some of our younger kids. We really start to focus on that age group, sort of 12 and under to 14 and under, start to develop them and bring them through, whilst obviously not letting go of our older players, our 16 and 17-year-olds who are still playing very well. So more focus on S&C, much better coach-player ratios, which is what we're always after and what's best for the kids in the long run, and a real focus on getting these guys to a level where they can look back and go, my experience at LevertonWilliams was second to none, and I'm so happy I trained there over anywhere else.
Some of the kids that you've got on the academy have been with you for a few years now. Yeah. How have their games developed over the last few years?
Wow, well again, because of the focus on strength and conditioning, which I think is one of the biggest areas in the professional game now, and the biggest advances have been made both scientifically and just within coaching as a whole. So for me, they've improved massively in that area, which has had a knock-on effect to their confidence. So it's increased their confidence, which again knocks on to competition. They're able to go out there. They know that they can chase another ball down. They know that they can go that extra mile. That just adds a whole new dimension to their game. So for us, that's been a big focus, bringing in the professionals rather than me as a tennis coach and the rest of my team trying to deliver that themselves. Let's bring in the guys that are trained in that area. Let's bring in the people that know what they're talking about with that, and develop them in cohesion with us and working closely with us. So they'll get an annual plan, and that annual plan will be tapered and developed around what their goals are for me on court technically, tactically, and then with the other guys off the court physically and mentally, trying to build a complete tennis player.
As we know, with Andy Murray winning the US Open the last season, it's all about results. So I mean, how have your kids developed in terms of ratings, rankings, tournament successes and so on?
Yeah, well, Andy Murray's thing was huge. I mean, he's, some people like him, some people don't like him, but you cannot deny what he's done, and you can't deny what he's done for the game in this country. I think our kids now feel like British tennis is something to be talked about in a positive way, and I think that will always have a knock-on effect to them at the grassroots level where we are now trying to produce the next Andy Murrays. Our kids have all increased year on year, ratings run on ratings run. They're increasing their rankings now. We've got multiple players inside the top 50, multiple inside the top 10 of their age groups. They're starting to compete internationally now. We had some kids that went over for qualifying of the Orange Bowl in Florida and did very well there. So starting to gain much more international experience. I think that, coupled with the international training camps that we run every year, I think that gives that player a whole new idea and a whole new identity when it comes to tennis, into international tennis as well.
Finally then, just tell me about the international schedule that you've got coming up. Where are you off to in 2013?
Well, 2013 is going to be a busy year for us. We've got a training camp in the States planned for the end of February, beginning of March, and then we go for our annual summer pre-tournament training camp over in La Manga in Spain, which is now also the base for the LTA, which is great. So we're going to try and combine some trips with them perhaps and give the kids some exposure there. We've got the Grade 3 that LevertonWilliams run, which is the first ever Grade 3. We ran it last year, first ever Grade 3 outside of the UK. And that'll be running again this year, which hopefully will be a massive tournament. And then we're off again in December. We go back out to La Manga and we do our winter training camp. So we spend a couple of weeks there, and that's really added something to the program, which I know a lot of other programs perhaps don't have or would like to have. So very popular trips and very, very useful for us as a development team.